welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at gods5minutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. Old King Solomon, using his gift of surpassing wisdom, gave us Proverbs 6 to give us an instructional gem. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, nor ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. You wonder how many hours he lay on his tummy watching these little bugs in order to learn their secrets. The word translated sluggard more literally means lazybones, which probably shows that fault was as much the object of disrespect then as now. The Hebrew word here translated ant emphasizes the responsibility the individual ant takes. She acts autonomously, without supervision or direction from others. She shows self-discipline, fulfills her task, because God has given her a sensing to support the larger picture of life. The point is, of course, if the little ant does this, how much more should humans? One of the ways of getting wisdom is through observation. We could all get much insight by simply observing the created world, which teaches us order, discipline, dependence, trust, and care. These amazing little creatures can lift up to 50 times their body weight. While there are many different kinds of ants, the following describes some ants' behavior. For instance, in some groups, a forager ant that finds food marks a trail to it on the way back to the colony. This trail is followed by other ants who then reinforce the trail when they in turn head back with food to the colony. When the food source is exhausted, no new trails are marked by returning ants, and the trail markings slowly dissipate. If an obstacle happens to somehow block the food source path, the foragers leave the path to explore new ones. If an ant is successful, it leaves a new trail, marking a new path, and the process repeated. Weaver ants, which may have as much as 100 nests and 500,000 individuals in one colony, make nests by bending leaves together and gluing them. The leaves are bent by main strength. Many thousands work together, lined up in rows, sometimes atop one another, all in unison, exerting all their strength to bend the leaves and hold them in place, while other ants supply the glue that makes them stay. When the distance between two leaves is wider than a single ant can reach, they grasp each other and form chains. Multiple intricate chains working in unison are often used to pull two leaves together. This large, intricate nests are often built in under 24 hours. Army ants are nature's Mongol hordes. You can only run from them, and don't waste time. Anything that is caught by their marching columns will be overwhelmed and eaten on the spot, or sliced into pieces and carried back to the nest for the young. In their columns are scouts searching for prey, flankers to keep any from straying, sergeants with exercise a form of control, and thousands upon thousands of soldier ants, all peaceful toward each other, all ready to attack at whatever hazard upon the signal that prey has been found. They are nearly irresistible, and the more remarkable because they are all nearly stone blind. Thousands of their workers will link together to make a sort of enclosed hammock for the queen. Or some of our native varieties. An ant colony is typically much more underground than above. In the central chamber is the queen, who lays the eggs that develop into larvae. These unborn ants are very vulnerable to temperature, so the ants have tunnels that go up to 10 feet into the earth, and nurse ants, who can sense temperature change, continually move the babies through these tunnels as the outside air temperature varies, to keep them in the place most fitted to their needs. They never run away. They never abandon their charges. Worker ants never rebel and decide to be soldiers or scouts or queens. Ants have no egos and never lie about each other or try to make themselves appear more important than they are. They have no vices. They live as God intended, and their species are one of the most successful on earth. Well, don't you sometimes wish people were more like ants? And have you talked to God today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at godsfiveminutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.